Hey everybody,
It's sensitive.
Maranguta Kitumila. How's it? Tato Tidu from Ndoda Must Cook. Today Nale Sislebo and just gonna start about talking visas and trips to Vietnam or how you can get to Vietnam because we came with different visa types or visa kinds, whatever. Visa routes, yeah. So Lebo will start with hers and then I'll come with mine second. Lebo?
Should I say when I started, or should I just get into what was needed and how I got there?
Started.
When I started?
Yeah, when you started, like.
Okay, I started my process end of March, early April, and then it was with an agency, and you pay them a deposit, and with that deposit, but before, should I say before what?
How much?
That? How much you want? They want the price of the deposits. I don't think I need to just close that, but there was a deposit amount that you have to pay for so that they can give you the services.
Yep.
So I started my process end of March, beginning of April, and it was with an agency. You go through the application process, they ask you which countries are you interested in, and you put your options, and then after that they give you feedback on what the country said, if they would take you, if you eligible or not. And from there you have to pay I had to pay a deposit of 5,000 rand so I can start the process with them, and they can give me a specific agent to work with throughout the whole process. And then when it was around June, July, that's when I fully started everything. Had to get my PCC ready, my degree, apply for SAQA, and also get my TFL in order, like the actual certificate, not just the PDF version. And then from there, after you do all of that, they also recommend a lawyer, like a notarization lawyer. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, notarizer.
Yeah, like a notarizer. And from there, I contacted him. He basically did almost everything for me. But before that, with my SAQA, the first thing I had to go do was my SAQA, because at the time, I was getting advice from other people who were already going through the process, and they were telling me that SAQA would take a bit of some time because there was some issues happening. So things would take forever to get done. It did take me a while to get just a quotation alone. It took me like a good 2 weeks just to get a quotation to pay to get my SAQA verification letter. But to get the actual letter itself, it took exactly 14 days like they said it would. So the only flop or the only setback was just to get a quotation. But aside from that, they were pretty much on time. And then after that, I had to get my PCC. Leona, surprisingly, it was very quick. It took exactly a month. But because I got it way too early, by the time I was going to leave here, it would have been expired. So I literally had to get my PCC done again a month before coming here. So that's a whole situation. So be prepared for that. Especially if you're from South Africa, be prepared. Your PCC calculate somehow, figure out, are they fast or are they slow, so you know when to do your PCC so that it doesn't expire. And from there, I literally didn't do much, because then my SAQA verification letter got sent to me, a PDF on my email, and it got sent to Postnet in Brooklyn and Pretoria. So I just had to collect it and then give my lawyer my PCC, the original, a copy. No, actually, no, he didn't need a copy of my degree. He needed just the verification letter, Yako SAQA, and my TFL, and then he did everything for me. He charged me more or less, I think it was like 4.2. Yeah, I think it was like 4,200 for everything, because it goes to DIRCO, it goes to the embassy, and yeah, because of the embassy also that's about it. So for everything, including the services, he charged me 4,200, and then after that I could go and get my visa, which was sponsored by the company that I work for. So they did everything for me. I just only had to give them my flight tickets and give them PDF copies of my legalized documents, and they got the whole process started for me, and then I just had to go get the visa. I just had to go to the embassy, pay. I just can't remember how much it was. Honestly, I won't lie.
It's 1,000 something.
Yeah, it was 1,000. Actually, it was exactly 1,000. Yes, my visa sticker.
1,050.
It was exactly 1,000. It was exactly 1,000, and then they just told me to come get it 2 days later. So I got my visa sticker on the day I was leaving. I left on the 26th of November, so I got it in the morning. That same morning, I also got my legalization, my legalized documents, because I managed to speed up the process so that it doesn't have to be sent to me via DHL. So yeah. And then when it comes to how I got the company, my agency did that, because they are connected to different schools. So they connect you with the school so that you can get an interview. So I didn't go search for my own school. And I just felt like it was safer for me. That was a safer option because I've never done this. It was my first time out the country. So the agency got the school for me.
But the agency is the one that you paid 5,000, eh?
Yeah.
Oui.
I paid actually, technically speaking,
Oui.
the total amount I actually paid that agency was technically 20K. Technically speaking. It's technically 20K because they are paying me for the fact of we hooked you up with our connections. Because you could have got this, you could have got that, you could have been scammed, you could have not gotten all your benefits, but because we hooked you up. Also, it's like a thing of I still don't understand it. Sometimes I'm just like, but was it 20K worth? But I'm also just like, you know what, it's fine. It happened, it was an experience, I've learned from it, we move. There's nothing I can do, I'm already here.
Yeah, you're already here.
I'm already here, it's done.
But then we're giving out information that, no, it's not.
Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say the name, but I wouldn't recommend it to another person. Willingly, I would tell them, but I would also tell them that here's what's gonna happen. Here's what you're gonna get. Here's what you're not gonna get. So it's up to you whether you feel like it's worth it or not. Because after in that 20K, they also include your orientation week with them, where they pay for your accommodation, but your accommodation and like these practical and theory stuff that they give you throughout the week just to prepare you here in the country, and they take you around to see places. And I'm still just like, I don't think that's 20K worth. I still don't think it's 20K worth.
Yeah.
Maybe 10K.
We'll get to where what you guys did and how much it actually is. I think maybe if we go through the same things that you did, and then we spend our money and then we compare it on the next video. How much did they charge you? How much did they actually spend while you were here? Because you were here for a week before you moved over, no? Before you moved over to your sponsor school. So,
yes.
Yeah, 20K is a lot of money.
20K is a lot.
It's a lot of money for people that hook you up. Or maybe we should also start our own hooking up company.
I've been saying this, man, guys want, because
it's a lot of money.
Like a lot of us this year were like, guys, but this was not worth the money, I'm sorry. Not in a bad way, we're not ungrateful for them helping us out, but it's like, it's things that I could have easily found out myself.
And it's not that difficult.
It's really not that difficult. It didn't need me to pay 20K, but I'm just like, you know what?
It's not.
Including having to pay for visas and flight tickets and clothes and whatnot to come here.
They should be inside that 20. They should be included in that 20K because.
So now imagine 20K plus all the things that you paid for to prepare to come here. That has nothing to do with the agency. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. That's 5 people. When running that company, you already have 100,000 by just hooking people up. And I think these agencies are quite popular in SA.
Yeah.
And people are coming through agencies and stuff, but I didn't. I came by myself. Everything was done by me.
Oh, okay. Okay, yep. I spell
everything was done by me. I started my process in when was it? In September, I think. Yeah, really? September. Yeah.
I thought it was like just a brief moment. You were like, I let me up and leave actually.
No. I started my process in like getting my documents ready and stuff. But then I didn't know about the legalizations of stuff. I just got my things stamped like the way we do in South Africa.
Yeah.
Just took my certificates and stuff, made copies, stamped them for who's this? Authority of what that authority of oath?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then I got those stamped, got everything ready, booked my first flight ticket out of South Africa. Then I applied for my visa. I went through a travel agency cause what again this thing the law in Vietnam changed. They say you can't just come here anymore. You have to be invited. Even though you're a tourist, you have to be invited here. So being invited, you need a travel agency who's gonna issue you a letter or apply at the immigration's office so that you can come through. And then they actually state that you're gonna be here for 30 days.
I don't know that. So you're telling me all those people that I found at the embassy on the day I was leaving who were like, no, we're just going to visit, we're just going vacation. They went through the same thing
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it was just people waking up like, guys, we're going to Vietnam, let's go get our visa.
It was like that before. That's why I just bought my ticket and then went to the embassy, like visa. Then said no. Tour company.
At home. Okay.
So Google up tour companies. First one I get $400 just for a tour company. That's like 8,000 rand. I'm like, no way. I look for others.
8,000.
Yeah, like I look for others. I'm busy there. I'm searching around. I get this other one written Vietnam something. I'm like, okay, might be the one. Get them. They say $150. Like, okay, not bad.
Yes, okay.
It's about 2,000 rand or so. There I am. I paid $150. I'm thinking $150, it's everything. After paying that, I get an email from them and I have to pay $200. Like, for what? But no, for your actual visa. I'm like, whoa, why didn't you tell me about those things when I started the process? They say, no, we don't know, but then it's like that. You pay first and then we'll tell you about all the other costs after. Like, no, there's no way. Go to my bank, lodge, and again, this thing, I lodge a scam against their account. They are scamming people, and then after I contact them again, I say, can I please have my money back? I want my refund. And they said, okay, it's fine, you can have your money back, because they saw the alert from my bank that I'm lodging a scam. So that means I might put a hold on their business.
But on that though, really?
You move fast if you want things done. You move.
Yeah, I am thinking your process was the most smoothest thing I've ever seen.
No, but then I searched for another one. This other one says $100. I'm like, okay, $100, is that everything? So because of I've experienced those other ones and the other ones, so I'm like, is this everything? They say, yeah, no, $100. Good to go.
It's finished.
It's finished. I'm like, no surprises after I pay. They're like, no, there's no surprise. Okay, well, the only surprise that you might encounter is if you cancel, $50 we can't refund you.
Okay, that's fair enough.
We can only refund you 50. The other 50 we can't refund you because we gonna process that to the immigration and onto the refund. I'm like, no problem. How long? I don't know. 7 days.
Okay.
Like, okay, 7 days, fair enough. They say, okay, unless you want it right now, then you pay extra. I'm like, nah. My ticket is still, still got days. Then I pay. After paying, they're like, okay, can you please send us your flight ticket, your medical aid, and my passports and whatnot. Send them through. 2 days later, they're like, hey, dude, your ticket does not have a return flight.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm like, my ticket does not have a return flight. They said, no, you are on tourist visa. So when you're on tourist visa, you must buy a return flight. And then it must be within 30 days because of your visa is going to be 30 days.
Yeah.
So now, my ticket is booked for the following week. So now that's 7 days. It's not gonna work. Because I have to book the flight first. After booking the flight, I must send those documents through. Then they have to go to immigration and do that process. So now I can't board my flight because my visa won't be ready.
Really?
Nah? I have to postpone my ticket. Like, hey, I have to postpone my ticket. There I am, Qatar Airways. Hey guys, I need to postpone. But no, log in. I log in. You can't move your ticket by yourself.
Okay.
They are the only ones that can do it behind.
Yeah.
Then when they move it, it charges you extra.
Oh.
And then they can see which flight is how much. You can't see anything. They say, okay, which date do you want to move? I'm like, no, I don't work with dates. I work with money. They say, no, you have to give us a date. So we're working with 3 dates. Say 23, 24, 25. They go check. When they come back, that guy says, yeah, you have to pay 7,000 extra for that. I'm like, no way.
God.
Nah. And then back and forth. And then he's getting agitated because of, I'm busy declining. I give him dates. When he gives me the amount, I decline. I give him dates. And I'm like, then when he gets bored or like angry and he tells me, dude, aren't you gonna pick a date or what? I'm like, dude, aren't you gonna listen to me? I said, I am not paying more than what I paid. So it's either you get the same amount of flight or plus minus. So my ticket was 12,000 including I paid for window seat and I also it was a window seat and it's 2 flights. So what else? And flexible in case I'm late.
Oh yeah.
In case I'm late for the flight, they can't cancel my flight.
Mm-hmm.
So they can actually put me on another one. So it became a little bit more expensive. But then if you take like just a normal ticket, I think it was 9,000. Yeah, about 9,000. Yeah, you still paid less than that. But then when did you book? So I was booking next week.
Oh, kind of, okay. Yeah.
And then when I had to move it, I moved it a month. I moved it from September. I moved it to November. It's actually 2 months, just to get a price in Lerongore. It's gonna suit me, and also the return flight. It's another ticket which I can't see because now they are amending my ticket.
So now, if you had bought the ticket, if you had all correct things in September, okay, no, let's say you bought a ticket for November in September, how much would it have been there?
It would have been around 7,500, somewhere there. That's the normal price if you don't book. If you don't book like in a hurry or whatever. If you book in advance and say, okay, I'll be traveling in end of February. Because if it's far away, it's not that expensive. But then if you book closer and closer, it's gonna be more expensive. And then I just wanted to get out of South Africa. That's why I booked it like that.
Okay.
Sharp. Then I book that. I do that. Then but again, this thing, health insurance. Call my health insurance. I used and I would recommend them. They're very good. I used Luna. It was quite cheap. I think it was about $35 to $45 for a month. So that's good.
So how much is that in rands?
In rands, it's about 800 rand.
Oh, I also paid more less, so like I feel like 900 something.
Yeah, 800 rand, somewhere there. So I got that, then sent it to the agency. The agency processed my things on time, and they sent back my visa. Went to the embassy, gave them my visa, my what you call this?
Passport.
Not passport. Invitation letter. Then they said no. Your visa, you'll get it when you land in Vietnam. You don't get it in South Africa. I was like,
Oh, okay.
that's great. And that was it. Took my flight, got to airport, SNG, or SGN.
SGN.
Yeah, SGN, is it SGN. And when I landed, 2 minutes, they gave me my visa, and I was in the country. And then after that, okay, in coming to what she went through, got the 20K, which mind blowing. I didn't spend that. I with my tickets, it's a return flight ticket, and then moving it, getting my visa when I landed here, the amount that I paid to the tourist company, my insurance, and what else did I buy? And my alcohol in Qatar, because that's my layover was there, and my alcohol and everything. It cost me 22,000, and that's a bit over. I think actually
been less.
it was less, because my return flight was 7,500, then my ticket was 12,000, and to move it was about 700 rand, so that's about 20, and then 800 for the 800 for the insurance, and then 1,000 something for 1,000. No, rent was quite bad at that time. Yeah, it was 1,800 for my visa, and then $25 when I landed to get the stamp. So yeah, 22,000 just to get here.
I probably, if I didn't use the agency, I would have used less, because the way my process was so smooth, I had no hiccups.
Yeah.
I spent very little money when it came to that part.
Yeah. But then they refunded me that $150 from that other company, that other agency. They refunded all my money into my account. Well, it came in after a week, but then
it was good.
Yeah.
It was good, but damn, this guy.
Yeah, plus there's another thing about Vietnamese people. They're very respectful, and they like doing things according to the books. They don't want to be called scammers or fraudulent or whatever. I think the jail here must be really bad, because everybody's in the straight and narrow. Yeah. And okay, and then after that, when I got here, 2 days I was just sleeping and admiring the town. Then I decided that, man, you know what, let me go look for work. Yeah. Then I looked for work. I wasn't going to mention this now because I'm just saying it because she paid 20,000 to her agency.
Oh my gosh, my 20,000 thing.
Yeah, right, I'm gonna drag it.
Like at this point,
so then I went to a couple of schools around. In the morning at 12 o'clock I was done. I think I went to about 4 schools. In the afternoon I got emails for an interview. Literally like the following day. They don't even waste time. No, you'll come to an interview next week. No. You're given the CV today, and they'll contact you today, and then they'll tell you interview tomorrow. Then I went to my interview. After my first interview, I think it was 3 hours after my interview or so, they sent me an offer.
They were quick.
They were quick, like super quick. They gave me an offer, and then I didn't waste time. I was like, you know, I took the offer. Yeah. And that's another crap to talk about in the next speech. But then the contract is actually, it binds me to not talk about anything related to them or whatever. So I'm not going to say anything bad about them or say where I'm working or anything. I'm in Vietnam, so that's it. Yeah. So I spent 0 on agencies and she spent 20K.
Honestly, here's the thing, man. With agencies, I would recommend it if you really are scared of bumping into scams and taking the risk. Do it, and if you have the financial means to do it, go ahead. Try it out. Agencies are gonna charge you, no matter who they're gonna charge you guys. You're gonna pay a lot of money. Don't think you can skip and you can dodge certain things. They'll be like, no, maybe just help me with this, and they're still gonna make you pay.
I say, do things yourself. Do everything yourself. The only agency that you need is your visa.
True, yes, I was about to get to that. Do it if you feel like, you know what, for me, I am scared, let me just use the agency straight off to connect me with the school and everything, and you want to do it, and the financial means, and you really don't have any knowledge. Because not before I even went to agency, I asked people who were already in other countries so that maybe I can find a cheaper alternative. And a little while they were like, listen, bruh, because there's a lot of scams, honestly, it's more a personal choice. I can tell you where to go, what to do, but I don't know if the way I did things will work for you. And so I don't want to put you in a weird space where now you've used even more money because you're busy jumping into the wrong holes or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. If you're a person who just wants things to go smoothly, you want to be connected to a school properly, and you are just avoiding scams and whatnot, or you're avoiding bad offers or whatever, use an agency if you have the money for it. Be prepared for it financially. But if you're willing to go the Tato route, that's also okay. It's cheaper at the same time. It's cheaper. He still got lucky because also you had the opportunity to actually come here physically and see the schools and see what is happening. They exist. Other people don't have the means to still fly here on a tourist visa and do that, and first go around scouting, go school hopping, and then they find the proper school. So when you're back home, it's trickier. Internet can lie. It can lie a lot.
Yeah, the internet tells a lot of lies.
It can lie. So there's a lot of bad sites, bad places, and that's why I'm saying agency. I would recommend it just for that safety part of things. But if you have the means to tourist way, come school hop, do it also. Or if you're on the internet and you know what to look out for, then do it. It's really a personal choice. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's only you know what fits you. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Okay. And also I just want to wrap it up quickly. We went double overboard with the timing of the video. She used a lot of abbreviations in her explanations, where the PCC, she's actually referring to the police clearance certificate, piano. You won't be allowed to enter the country if ever you have a criminal record or you have a pending case against you. So that's one thing that you must be very aware of.
AKA background check.
Background check. Yeah, background check, and you need to have that. Even if you come in through even if you're a tourist, you still need the police clearance certificate. They want to see it physically. And then she mentioned SACA, which is the South African Qualification Association, I think. Yeah. And put some links down below. I think I'll put some links down below on how to get those. And then DERCO is a Department of International Relations and Corporations. Corporations in SA. So that's another department that you have to send your documents to. And then notarizers, it's any lawyer, but then they have to have a notarizer certificate to be able to notarize your police clearance and your actual TOEFL certificate. All right. and then all the others it's SACA. From SACA, you go to DERCO, but everything will also go to DERCO, and after DERCO, once they're done, you'll go to the Vietnamese embassy, which in South Africa it's in Hatfield, and they will.
Isn't it in Brooklyn?
It's Hatfield. It's okay. It's like in
the middle.
in the middle of Brooklyn and Hatfield. But then, for me, it's Hatfield because it's right more at the Turkish residentials. Yeah, so Turkish is in Hatfield, it's not in Brooklyn. So that's why I say Hatfield. And then once everything is stamped down, can come over to Vietnam and have a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll keep them coming. And we'll stop looking at the camera. This was just formally meeting you guys. So.
Oh, sorry. And to add on to the lawyer thing, make sure when you go look for a lawyer, you don't just you make sure it's a notarized. You must ask these questions. Do you notarize? Do you have a certificate in it? Don't just choose a lawyer and then you ask them and they're like, yeah, I can do it, I'm aware of it. Until they don't have the certification for it, because then that's also another problem.
And I'm forgetting another thing. If your lawyer does it for you, he charged
me for everything, to go embassy, everything, 4,200 if I remember.
Yeah.
But that also included courier, but I ended up not couriering my stuff because my embassy situation went by quickly, so I got refunded that money. So it's basically 3,000 something. 3,700.
I did everything myself. The lawyer per paper, they charged me 350 rands just to get those done, and then I sent them to DERCO. I only pay DERCO, it's free. You only pay the DHL, and then SACA, it's 600
rand.
Yeah, 600 rand. Yeah, that's what you pay, and then that's it. So again, I saved it because I did everything myself.
Technically speaking.
And then embassy, you pay 500 per document, but then that you can keep your slips for everything, and then once you get a school and they want those documents, they will reimburse you whatever that you spend, but not the 5,000. She's not getting that.
Yeah, that I'm not getting back. That's a me refunding myself 5,000. I'm refunding myself that 5,000 by working.
Yeah, that you won't get back. You'll only get a figure like reimbursement for the money that you paid to that company, like the police, SACA, DERCO, embassy. But then lawyers, no. You don't get the money.
Lawyer actually got lucky. I probably would have paid way more because I met another lawyer. The amount alone just to do the basic minimum without the embassy, it was on 4,000. Including embassy, I was probably going to pay 6,000 something from 7K.
Woo! And on that note, do things yourself. Goodbye, everybody.